All right, just a few tips for anybody who is still in the position where you are trying to find your center, trying to go through the 8 steps to really land in a place where you feel proud about your work. And so I'm just gonna kind of touch on a few tips. So the first one is that I believe is gonna really help you find your center is to really start with either a gumdrop shape, or even if you want to pat it into a nice even ball, that's gonna give you some advantages for when you're trying to center. I'm also gonna just talk on getting your clay center on the bat before you start centering. So I'm gonna put it down onto my bat. I noticed that I didn't get it quite in the exact center. So I'm going to carefully, while keeping that suction that has occurred between the wet clay and the dry bat, I'm going to kind of move it into place, and then I'm just patting it. So you can see it's a pretty nice, evenly distributed piece of wet clay. I'm also taking note of the distance between the clay and the bolts that our bats sit onto, and doing my best to kind of eyeball it so that I do have things centered. Now, don't forget to fill your holes with some extra clay so that we don't have that extra wiggle of the bat working against us. All right, so there we go. Now I'm gonna get my speed going. Again, you wanna work with a faster speed when you're centering, and then as soon as you are centered, everything else needs to come down and be a lot slower. So you'll notice me do that. I also want to talk about the wedging and coning up. I'm going to take my hands, and I find that it works well to kind of put them a little bit at an angle, and then as I start to cone up, I just squeeze, and there is an upward motion that's also involved in that squeezing. And then be sure to also be putting water on your hands, but not soaking your clay so that you have like a serious mud puddle happening on your wheel. All right, so let's see how I can do this. All right, so I got the speed. All right, coming in here, I'm coning up, equal pressure on both sides. I've got that upward cone, do it a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna take my support hand, which is my left hand since I am right-handed dominant. I wanna be sure I'm putting this nice, almost like a 90-degree angle happening as I'm pushing in, and then I'm going to take my right hand, and you'll see I'm going to be kind of doing a little bit of an interlocking, and I'm going to be pushing in and pushing down with equal pressure with both hands. All right, so here comes that pushing in and pushing down. Ooh, lots, I'm really shaking and wiggling.